Why did you leave the podcast?
Stop this MPP NDC thing. Do I need to be MPP
I
before I
don't
talk about
believe in
gender?
gender.
I do it either. We don't really believe. The other time someone actually said Hello, welcome back to my channel. You are watching the Afterthought with Alice. I am Alice. I am a trauma therapist and a resilient researcher. My work focuses on the experiences and healing of Black women and African women. I am somebody who is deeply invested in how cultural factors such as race, gender, capitalism, religion, all the other factors shape our human experiences, including mental health, trauma, and healing. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that has been on my mind for a while, and I am sure it has also been on other people's mind as well. The mental health of influencers and content creators in Ghana and the studios that employ them. We are going to discuss this using Gisela, Amponsah, and Burland as example, two incredible women that I couldn't be proud of them for the reason why they left the Glitch Africa studios, Rants, Bants, and Confessions. In summary, they left for self-respect and their mental health, and that is incredible, especially since majority of their followers are young women who may be navigating professional spaces for the first time.
Yeah, there was just too much drama. I wasn't feeling protected by the producers, and I always felt like they put me on the line. Is that the phrase? They always put me out there to be, pounced on by predators.
Like you felt set up.
Exactly. I felt like I was set up a lot, and there were a few times where I tried to control certain situations, and they wouldn't really allow me, because to me it seemed as if all they cared about was the views. They didn't really care about the mental health or the people on the show. So then I was like, you know what? I don't need them.
This is a great example, and this is the kind of conversations that we need to be having to empower young women as they navigate the workplace. Burland now hosts Let's Do Drinks on the Creative Inc. platform or studios. In episode 2 of her show, she invited her best friend to have a conversation. One of the questions that came up was, why did you leave your previous podcast? And it's funny because both of them were on the same podcast. So for Amma to ask Gisela, it was a bit funny.
Why did you leave the podcast you were on?
Why did you leave the podcast you were on?
I've asked you. I'll answer when you're done answering. I'll answer.
They shared a lot during that moment. They talked about the fact that Glitch African Studios depended on virality and trending to promote their podcast, to the extent of even paying a specific blogger to be amplifying the drama or the negativity that is happening on the show most of the time. They also talk about how the studio fails to protect their mental health or to support them as a whole, especially as young women, and sometimes to the extent of even exploiting them on the show. And so, in short, they decided to leave for their mental health and self-respect. The Glitch African Studios Rant, Bants, and Confessions has 2 new co-hosts, Rosie and Ajua T. And from what I have been seeing little by little, it looks as if this season Ajua T is the one on the chopping block. And I am saying this because in the recent episode where they talk about cancel culture, what happened between Rosie and Ajua T, you could hear one of the producers encouraging Ajua to speak because that portion was going to be edited out.
You know that we shot. What people saw is what they are reacting to it.
No, so listen to what we're saying.
However, it wasn't edited out, and we all heard that conversation. We also saw the questioning that was being posed to Adwoa, and how even one of the producers or whoever it was that wasn't even part of the people hosting the show had to come in and ask Adwoa questions. It was as if everybody there, including Efia Odo, was somehow afraid to ask Rosie questions or to hold her accountable for whatever conflict that is happening between Adwoa and Rosie. It felt as if in that moment, Adwoa was on her own. And there has also been moments where things that Adwoa has said on the show have been amplified. Like she talking about how she likes to date scammers.
Me, I like scammers because he doesn't stress. He's always in his couch.
No, so that's your type.
Okay, you said you like scammers, right?
I don't like people that put in too much.
So that's your type. Your type is scammers.
For me, in the night, I need him to be energetic. You know, it's not that you're not going to go to work and be stressed. And then
it was amplified and it went viral. And it looks as if that is how they promote their show. Adwoa has talked about how difficult it has been for her for some of what she has said to go viral, and how people have been perceiving her or approaching her. Here's the thing. Influencing and content creation is a very young field or industry. And that means that the people who are in this industry, the talent specifically, are young people. Young people who this may be their first job experience or first professional experiences. However, majority of the people who may be operating and owning these studios may be older adults who have work experience and the money to set up some of these studios. And we have to add the context of Ghana, the socio-economic environment that these content creators and influencers find themselves in. The rate of unemployment in Ghana means that people have to force to make it on their own. And sometimes people are forced to work in an environment where it can be abusive or exploitative, but if they leave, what are they leaving to, or where are they going? This may give studios the upper hand over the talent that they are hiring, because again, these people are young. They may not know how to advocate for themselves. They may be in desperation or despair to make it because they have been looking for a job for maybe a long time. And this is the only opportunity that they have to make some money to feed themselves and their families. As a therapist, I see the consequences of this every day. Young people, especially young women who are navigating these environments, may find it very difficult. However, they may not have the voice. They may not have the experience to speak up. It can affect their mental health in so many different ways. For example, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Yes, toxic work environment can be a traumatic experience. Anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, perfectionism, overthinking, inability to function, inability to even concentrate and be creative. So it's not just about the algorithm. It's not just about going viral. It's not just about trends, but these are real people with emotions, real people with family, real people with friends, real people with feelings, and the impact can be detrimental. This is why I am very proud of Gisela and Amma for sharing their truth, for opening up this conversation so that we can all talk about toxic work environment, unhealthy work environment in Ghana, and what it means to advocate for yourself. Now, I am not saying that it is going to be easy to advocate for yourself. I know that if you advocate for yourself, if you stand up for yourself as a Ghanaian woman, you are going to face some backlash. There may be some companies who will be unwilling to work with you, but you have to think about it. At what cost? And you are the talent. So this is what I want to say to all the young influencers and content creators navigating these spaces. Advocate for yourself. Learn to say no. Know when to walk away when you are not being supported. Or as I say, know when to walk away when love is no longer being served on the table. You are your best advocate. It is not anybody else. It is not these studios who want to make money. You are the best person that is going to advocate for yourself. And here's the last thing. Take your mental health serious. If you are in a space where you feel a lot of anxiety, where you feel a lot of pressure, you feel like they are not protecting you, you feel like they are throwing you out there for the wolves, take care of your mental health. Have a plan before you walk out. It is very important. I know about the experiences of navigating toxic work environment, and I also have experienced firsthand walking away from a job and having nothing. Actually, I am in this moment right now. This is why I created the series Resilience in Real Time, because at the moment I don't have a job. I had to say no to my job and walk away. So I know it's not going to be easy, but it is doable. If you are an influencer or a content creator in Ghana, I want to hear from you. What has been your experience with these studios, and how are you taking care of yourself? And I am open to also working with some of these studios on how best they can support the talent that work for them, creating a trauma-informed environment that supports the mental health of the talent that work for them. Until then, take care of yourself, and if you can, take care of somebody too, and I will see you in my next video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for before you would subscribe? Tell me what you want before you will subscribe, okay? Bye.